Welcome and congratulations. Your manager and franchisee have entrusted you with a very important role, front counter cashier on the Radiant Point of Sale, or POS for short. This course will focus on Step 2, take the order, and Step 3, collect payment of the 6 steps of guest service. You'll learn how to perform these steps on the POS and even get to practice some transactions. In the restaurant, you'll touch the POS screen with your fingers. In the course, you'll use your mouse cursor instead. Your goal is to be fast and accurate. Oh, and just to let you know, the screens on your POS might look slightly different. They can change by region and time of year. But even though the details may be a little different, the principles are all the same. Are you ready? There's lots to learn, so let's get started.
Back when Dunkin' Donuts first started doing business in the 1950s, a cash register was, well, just that. It was something that handled cash. You would push the keys for the amount of the sale, take the payment in cash, and send the guest on their way with a great cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee and a delicious donut. Some things haven't changed. You still send your guests off with great products and a thanks, come again, and of course, some guests still pay with cash. But the way people pay has changed, and the cash register has changed too. It has been replaced by something called a POS, which stands for Point of Sale. And modern POS systems do far more than take cash for Dunkin' products. They do everything from tracking your hours to activating Dunkin' Donuts cards. One of the biggest differences between an old-fashioned cash register and the POS is that the POS is connected. All the POS terminals are connected to each other and to the manager's workstation. This allows a few things to happen. For example, you can clock in on one terminal and clock out from another because the terminals are all interconnected. The POS is also used to track inventory. The guest orders you enter update inventory amounts to help your manager place orders and keep everything in stock. You're also connected to the internet. So, for example, when you swipe a Dunkin' Donuts card, the amount remaining on the card is immediately updated. If the guest uses the card again, even if it's only a minute later, at any Dunkin' Donuts restaurant, the amount on the card is correct. It all happens instantly. The POS also has a phone line to process transactions if the internet connection is down. It's slower, but it still does the job. It might be easier to think of the POS as a computer instead of a cash register. Different screens will display when the buttons on the main POS screen are selected. As you practice entering guest orders, you will have the chance to see many different POS screens. The main POS screen is where it all starts, so let's begin there and take a look at each section. Select each highlighted area to learn about that section. Use these buttons to enter the size of a beverage. Select the size key first when entering orders to improve speed of service, which also follows the way a typical guest places an order. I'll have a medium black coffee. Let's look at each of these 4 buttons. The Combos button takes you to the Combos screen where you can enter a guest order by combo number. If a guest says, "I'll have combo number 3, use this button to begin the transaction. The Dunkin' Premiums button is used to enter purchases such as mugs, K-Cups, and Dunkin' Donuts cards. The Local and Test LTO buttons allow you to ring in items that are being tested or are only offered in your local area. These buttons are used to enter beverages. The red keys are for hot beverages. The blue keys are for cold beverages. The pink and white keys are referred to as modifiers. They allow you to ring the guest order in more detail. For example, you can ring in coffee as decaf, add cream, sugar, or add a flavor shot. This area is called the active receipt. It is a critical area to watch during transactions. It shows the items that have been entered, modifiers that have been added, and prices. If you want to make changes to an item, select it from the Active Receipt area and then make the changes. It also displays Transaction Finalized when you have entered payment for an order. The Active Receipt usually displays the last completed transaction. To begin a new transaction, look for the words Transaction Finalized, and then simply start entering the new order. The gray buttons are used to perform functions other than ringing in items, such as applying discounts, printing a receipt, signing out of your shift, or looking up a Dunkin' Donuts card balance for a guest. These keys enter food items. The orange keys are for donuts. Notice that the POS treats 6 donuts and 12 donuts as one item. The yellow keys are used to enter other food items, such as muffins, bagels, and sandwiches. This area is called the taskbar. The menu button allows you to select one of 3 different taskbar displays by touching the menu button to move to the next display. Menu functions displays keys used to access setup and manager functions. Menu hotkeys displays keys to use when accepting payment for purchases to improve speed of service. Alarms displays messages about problems with the POS, such as when the system goes offline. Alert your manager if you see an alarm message displayed on this taskbar view. Click here to print a list of all the alarms and what you should do when you see them. This section of the main POS screen switches between the date, time, and POS terminal number at regular intervals.